Hey guys, today you're going to look at the stages of clay. So if you've noticed, I have a bulletin board in my classroom that talks about the ceramic stages of clay, which they include powdered clay, slip, plastic, leather hard, bone dry, bisque, and then glazeware. So we've talked a little bit about what each of these stages mean, but just to kind of review, slip is the glue or the pottery glue that we use to kind of put pieces together. And when we put pieces together, we want them to be at the leather hard stage. So plastic clay, number 2, is easily moldable clay. So I remember this by like the way that the clay comes straight out of the plastic bag. So it's workable, perfect, brand new clay. Then we usually let things dry out for a day on a board and then they become leather hard. So clay that's somewhat dry, it's really good for carving. And then if you were doing a slab pot, this is the stage of clay that you would want your clay to be in order to score and slip the pieces together. Then we move on to bone dry. So bone dry, the whole texture of the clay will change and it will then be more white in color with no moisture left in it. And then once it's bone dry and there's no water left in the clay, I can fire it in the kiln. So that will be your first firing. After I fire it once in the kiln, it turns to bisque or bisqueware. So bisque is clay that's been fired one time in the kiln and it can never turn back into wet clay. So all the way up to bone dry, can you turn clay back into water or slip? Also with bisqueware, you can tell the difference between bisque and bone dry 2 ways. Bone dry clay is a little more gray in color, whereas bisqueware is cream. And then you can also tell by the sound. So if I took like a pencil and just tapped a pencil onto bone dry or bisqueware, the bisque would sound like more like glass, like a ting, 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 whereas bone dry would sound more hollow if I were to tap it. Then after we bisque fire it, and it's been fired once, then it's ready to be glazed. So you glaze it, and then I fire it again, and it turns to glazeware, and that's the final stage. So if you go ahead and watch this video, you'll click here, watch the stages of clay video. After you do the video, the YouTube video, then you'll go to the stages of clay Kahoot quiz, which is 10 questions. And it's very easy, but also fun review for the stages of clay. Let me know if you have any questions.